Properties of matrices. This one we're gonna talk about all the operations, how we add, subtract, and multiply matrices. So objective one is matrix addition. To add two matrices of the same dimension. So remember, they must have the same dimension, mean the numbers of rows must be equal to the number of columns. Add corresponding elements. Only matrices of the same dimension can be added. So remember, they must have the same dimensions to add, or in same rule apply when you subtract it. So here's some examples here. So it says find each sum. Sum is addition, if possible. It is only possible if the number of rows equal to number of columns. If it's not possible. So your answer is not possible. So for example, here number 1 says 5, -6, 8, 9 plus -4, 6, 8, -3. So if you look carefully, the first and the second, they are the square matrices. The number of rows, they are 2 by 2. So there is a 2 by 2. This is also 2 by 2. 2 rows and 2 columns. This means addition is possible. So here is just add the corresponding elements there. So here's how I do it. So the 5 plus -4, -6 plus 6, 8 plus 8, and 9 plus -3. So the answer also going to be a 2 by 2 matrix. So this one is 5 minus 4 is 1, -6 plus 6 is 0, 8 plus 8 is 16, and 9 minus 3 is 6. So that also are 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, let's do one more. Number 2. 2, 5, 8. So this one has a 1 column but 3 rows. This is 3 by 1 matrix. Plus -6, 3, 12. They are equal, so they are it is possible. So here 2 plus, so 2 minus 6 is -4, like this. Look, add the corresponding elements. 2 plus -4, which is 2 minus 4 is 2 minus 6 is -4. 5 plus 3 is 8, and 12 plus 8 is 20. Okay. Let's say we have, for example, we have the matrix A equals 5, 8, 6, 2. Matrix B has a 3, 9, 1, 4, 2, 5. So if you look, this one is a 2 by 2. This one is a 2 by 3. So the dimensions, so A and B cannot be added. So this is a addition is not possible. Not possible because the dimensions are different. Okay, so when you subtract matrices, subtraction is the same as adding the opposite. So that's your second objective. Number 2, matrix subtraction. We're still gonna, when you add or subtract, they must have the same dimension. And we also know the subtraction is the same as adding the opposite. So remember the rule, this one here. So A minus B is the same as A plus negative B. That's the rule. So remember, now we're going to change the sign to opposite. So remember, subtraction is the same as adding the opposite. So for example, this is the example here. So if A, the matrix is negative 5, 6, 2, 4, the matrix B has the element of a negative 3, 2, 5, negative 8. So now A plus B is going to be, look here, negative 5 plus 3. I'm sorry, we're doing minus here this time. So minus. Subtraction is adding the opposite. So in this case, it's going to be negative 5 plus 3. 6, positive 2, it becomes minus 2. Opposite, 2 minus 5. And then 4 plus 8. All those becomes the opposite. So then A minus B is negative 2, 4, negative 3, 12. And that is the answer. So similar idea, they must have the same dimensions, but subtraction is adding the opposite. So here is one more. When you have one row, 3 columns. So here's another one. So for example, somebody says 8, 6, negative 4 minus 3, 5, 8. So then in this case, this one is 8 opposite. So it's 8 minus 3, 6 minus 5, and negative 4. Negative 4. Oh, this is negative here. It doesn't matter. So the negative 4 minus 8. And that's it. So this one basically is, sure, this one. So the answer is 5. This is 1 and negative 12. Okay, so that's how we add and subtract matrices. Remember, the dimensions must be same. Next one is a scale multiplication. If a scale factor is given, we just multiply that. So that's the easy one. So scale multiplication. Multiplication. So this is the product of a scale factor k and matrix X. is the matrix Kx. Just multiply every single element by given scale factor x k. So, for example, this is a 5. So scale factor is 5, and we have a 2 by 2 matrix. So basically, this one is just multiply each one by 2. Look, 5 times 2. 5 times -3, 5 times 0, and 5 times 4. So this is 10, -15, 0, 20. And that's how you do the scale multiplication. So whatever you have, just multiply everything by scale factor. Well, remember, k is a real number. It can also be decimal or fraction as well. Let's do 1 with the fraction. So for example, if the scale factor is 3/4, and we have a 2 by 2 matrix, 20, 36, 12, -16. So this is the same as 3/4 times 20/1, 30, so just multiply by 3/4 every single element, 36/1. This one is 3/4 times 12/1. This one is 3/4 times -16/1. So we're multiplying every element by. So if you simplify fractions here, look, 4/1, this is 4, 5, this is 4/1, this is 9, the 4/1, this is 3, 4/1, this is the 4. So now leftover is 5 times 3 is 15. There's a 15, and 9 times 3 is 27, and then 3 times 3 is 9, and last one is -12. Okay. The last one is how we multiply matrices. Third objective. So it's a matrix multiplication. So the rule is to multiply two matrices A and B A and B, the number of columns in A must be equal to the number of rows in B. Okay, so let's do some examples on this. Here's the first example. So let matrix A is 1, -3, 7, 2. The matrix B is 1, 0, -1, 2, 3, 1, 4, -1. So if you look here, this is 2 by 2, and this is 2 by 4. So first one is that there's 2 rows and 2 columns. The second one, there is 2 rows and 4 columns. Columns are vertical, horizontally the rows. So then when you multiply So number of rows, so what the rule? The number of columns, 2, must be equal the number of rows. So here, this is the number of rows in column. Okay, let's do it. So these are the columns here. So number C, and this one is rows. So C must be equals R. It's a number of columns in A. It must be equals the number of rows. So the order is always the RC, row times columns. So 2 equals 2, this means the multiplication is possible. And your answer gonna be 2 by 4 matrix. So they multiply these two. So the answer gonna be 2 by, so they multiply these here, 2 by 2. So first and last number, so 2 by 4 matrix. Okay. So I'm gonna back off a little bit here. And then here. Let's do it. So it's possible. Okay. So then we already know it's gonna be two rows and 4 columns. So we're gonna multiply. This element is 3. So 3, 1, 4, 3, 1, 4, negative 1, 1, 0. So here you go. So the first one is, so is A times B is, so we're going to multiply first column with the first row. Okay. So it's the 1 times 1 plus negative 3 times 3. So we're multiplying the first row with the first column plus, and add them up, negative 3 times 3. Then we multiply the first row with the second column. So it's 1 times 1, 1 times 0 plus 7 times, negative 3 times 1. Then we multiply first column with the third row, first row with the third column. So there is a 1 times negative 1 plus negative 3 times 4. Then we multiply the first row with the fourth column. So then this one is 1 times 2 plus negative 3 times negative 1. Okay, so now we do the same thing. We're going to multiply the second row, first column, second row, second column, second row, third column, second row, fourth column. So this one going to be 7 times 1 plus 2 times 3. There will be 7 times 0 plus 2 times 1. Then it will be 7 times negative 1 plus 2 times 4. Then our last one is 7 times 2 plus 2 times 1. Okay, so this one. So your answer is negative 1 minus 9. So here, 1 times 1 is 1. So 1, let's make an extra step. Here's a 1 times 1 is 1 minus 9. 1 times 0 is a 0 minus 3. 1 times 1, negative 1 minus 12. 2 minus, 2 plus 3. This is 7 plus 6. 0 plus 2. Negative 7 plus 8. And last one is 14 plus, last one is 2 negative 1 here. This is negative. Seven times 2 times 2 times negative 1. So this is negative 1 here. So then 14 minus 2. Okay, so this is negative 8. This is negative 3. This is negative 13. This is 5, 13, 2, 1, 12. So that is your, there's 2 rows and 4 columns. So these are the rows, columns. Okay, that's what you do. So the number, first of all, so the number of columns in A, number of columns, which is second number, it must be equal to the number of rows. Then answer is always the first number times the second number. Okay, so let's do a couple of more. Let's see. Let's do one from your textbook. Then we talk about the square matrices. Let's see. Well, for example, here, this is a number 29. It says 2, 4, 6. This is number 29 from your textbook. So what did he mention here? This is 1 row and what? 3 columns. This is A. The B is let me see here. This is addition. We need for multiplication. Oh, so I'm sorry. Let's back off a little bit. Okay, so we need to multiplication. This is number 55 from your textbook. The addition is much easier. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a 2 by 2 matrix. This is A. B is negative 1, 7. Which is 2 by 1 matrix. So if you look here, these numbers must be the same. So number of columns, it must be equal number of rows. In this case, yes. So A times B is possible. And your answer gonna be 2 by 1 matrix. 2 by 1. So 2 rows and 1 column. Okay, so let's do it. So this one is just like last time, 1 times negative 1 plus 2 times 7. Well, the other one is 3 times negative 1 plus 4 times 7. So this one is, so the answer from here is, this is 1 times negative 1 is negative 1 plus 14. And then we have negative 3 plus 28. So this is 1325. So we already know that. But there is a 2 rows and 1 column. Okay, pretty easy. But remember, when you multiply, we take the first row and multiply second column. That is the first element. And then keep going, because you know the answer already. Okay, let's do one more. For example, here's one more. This is number 58 from your textbook. This is multiply, so the A is -6, 3, 5, 2, 9, 1. So this is, there's the 2 rows and 3 columns. B is -2, 0, 3. This one has 3 rows and 1 column. So look, this one is matching. So number of rows, number of the columns, the first one, equal number of rows. Well, then it's possible. A times B is possible. Then your answer gonna be 2 by 1 matrix. Okay, let's try it. So then here is going to be 2 rows and 1 column. So the first one is -6 times -2 plus 3 times 0 plus 5 times 3. Second one going to be 2 times -2 plus this is a 9. So this is 9 times 0 plus 1 times 3, and that's it. So this one is a negative, it become positive 12 plus 0 plus 15, -4 plus 0 plus 3. So the answer is 27, -1. So we know that this is 2 rows and 1 column. Well, let's do one more. When you must be thinking when exactly we cannot multiply. So here is let's say the A is -3, 0 to 1. Second row is 4, 0 to 6. So this is 2 rows and 4 columns. This is a 2 by 4 matrix. B is -4, 2, 0, 1. So this one is a 2 by 2 matrix. So look here, 4. So the number of columns, it does not equal the number of rows. So in this case, the multiplication is not possible. Is not possible.